Hi everyone, welcome to Reg Edited, my channel, and I'm glad you're here. So please, if you haven't been to this channel before, please subscribe, and we will give you notifications about videos that happen on a weekly basis. So I wanted to talk today about how I keep a food diary, and I just want to, disclose that I've never kept a food diary, and for that matter, not very many other types of diaries, but I thought I'd just share with you what I've been doing for the last 4 months and how you probably seen my past video of how I lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks. So I figure I just continue to tell you what I was doing about it and how do I keep on the same path and maintain my weight, and if I feel I need to lose something, then I get started with that as well with this type of diary, or basically keeping notes of what I've been doing, where I've been, where I'm going. If I want to go somewhere and lose a couple more pounds, then I know what I have to do to change it immediately in my direction that I'm going in that week. But okay, so let's just start with how do I start my food diary. So really, all I do is put it in my phone, in my notes, the app, and if you have an iPhone, so the iPhone, if you have that, there's the Notes app, and I keep it so simple, and I know you can't probably see this, but I printed it out, and I'll show you what a month looks like. So basically, it's probably very simple to anyone. I want you to see that it could be considered a little obsessive, or it can be considered OCD-ish, whatever way you want to call it, but I really think it's more educational for me. So I can see what I need to do, and if I did something wrong the night before or the day before and I gained weight the next day, then I know what I need to do to correct it immediately. So on the food diary, I basically go month to month. September, we'll just say we're going to talk about this month, since this is September that I'm recording this. And I weigh myself a couple times a day, period. Okay, before you go there and say, girlfriend, that is way too much going on, it's really not. And you see what I'm talking about. It's just to educate myself on what my body needs, or what I'm doing, or what it doesn't need. So on the daily notes, I put the date, and first thing in the morning, I weigh myself, and with no clothes. And then I go and do an exercise. So I usually go walking or running, or I would go to hot yoga. So I know that hot yoga, I'm going to lose at least 2 to 3 pounds just doing that, because it's hot. It's 105 degrees in there, 40% humidity for 90 minutes. So right there, I know that that's not really my true weight, although I weigh myself after I exercise. So that's the second time I weigh myself. Excuse me. And so, okay, so say I'm 125 pounds. We'll just use that number. First thing in the morning. I also write the notes, and this might be a little bit TMI, but you need to know these things. You need to know when you're having a bowel movement, and if you had a bowel movement and you weigh yourself afterwards, you've probably lost a half a pound right there alone, because if you were intaking dinner the night before, it could be a pound or 2 pounds of food, I automatically know I'm going to gain that amount back. So that might include drinking water on top of eating the meal, that is. And it will show in the weight usually the next morning. So when I exercise and move, get some movement going, I weigh myself right after. And usually I lose anywhere from a pound to 3 pounds, depending on what type of exercise that I was doing. So, but it shows me what did I do before. So I write down everything I eat, period. And for those of you that saw the other video, I eat 1 meal a day, and that's usually around between 4 and 6 o'clock in the evening. And I know that I'm only going to consume probably about no more than 2 pounds of weight, and that includes water. I usually eat a tuna salad. That's kind of my go-to thing because it's either fish or, you know, like salmon or white fish. But usually I would just do tuna with spinach, tomatoes. I cut that up, and I cut up red onions, and I might put some cheese in it too, so because I want to get some fat as well. But I do get that with putting mayonnaise as well in the tuna. So fat is good. Don't run from that. It's something that we need in our bodies. And so if you're looking at your macros, I really have about 40 to 50% fat percentage of my breakdown, and about 30% of protein, and probably 20% of carbs, which is the vegetables. It works for me. I like to weigh my food, but I've been kind of lazy lately, and I ballpark it now because I know what the weight's gonna be. So I do have a weight scale, and you should try it, so you'll see that as well in this video. I also, after drinking water for the evening, and so I go to bed, and everything I've eaten, I've written it down so I can see. I know I won't be gaining weight. I'm gonna maintain my weight, or I'm gonna lose a half a pound. So give or take, you know, of the weight amount of food. So this is something that I do, and I think, you know, I just share with you. It's just about simple eating. And you're gonna ask this question, why am I keeping a food diary? Okay, well, her name is Queen Diane. And she is the parent that I'm a caregiver for. And again, I mentioned that I had taken on her diet, and that was the reason why I went on more of an extreme intermittent eating fasting diet to change my bad habits of eating the things that Diane likes to eat. She likes a lot of meat, and she likes a lot of carbs. And I fell, you know, victim to it, as I like to call it. But, you know, I gave in to her diet, and I did that for like a year, and the weight packed on real fast. And so no more of that. I woke up and I decided that I'm always going to record what I do. So it is a wake-up call to let me know if I'm getting off track. If I'm gaining a couple pounds in just 24 hours, I know that I did something incorrect. It may have been alcohol, which I do give myself some slack, because on a weekend I do like to have a couple of cocktails or Prosecco or wine. For me, throughout the weekdays, I really don't drink, so it's the same meal every day, and I just think that just keep it simple, eat the same thing, so you don't have to put the guesswork. And when you go grocery shopping, you save a lot of money, and you also know that you are taking care of yourself and what your body likes, and you give it to it. I mean, hey, I like fries, I like pizza, I like all these things. And I just kind of hold that off to the weekend, and I give myself 2 to 3 pounds I know I will gain over the weekend for eating some carbs. And by Monday, Tuesday, or really Tuesday, I'm right back at my normal weight again. So think about it. This is something that, you know, I think all people should try. And maybe you should just try it for 30 days, you know, give yourself the challenge. And if you're just starting to think about how you can eat better, how you can feel better, give this a chance. Write down what you're eating for 30 days and see, and you can go back and go over it and figure out where you're going wrong. I'm telling you, it's very enlightening. It gave me a lot of knowledge about myself and where my bad habits were, and why I should be doing this in the first place is to break the habits of a bad diet. I don't know why I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Oh, and by the way, that little guy over there covering her face, her name is Noki. My mom only can say a few words, and her go-to line or phrase is "no kidding." So we named her Noki so she wouldn't be confused about who was calling her. And anyway, she's hanging out. So she's on a diet too, but hers is simple as well. She eats the same thing every day. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like to see more in-depth videos about the diet that I'm in and what I do in a fasting focused lifestyle, please do leave a comment in the comment section. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And don't forget, keep searching for the perfect bite and balance. Thanks for watching.